Click the links, John Channel here over at SubScribestar. Thanks to all the new members over at Odyssey as well. So, newly leaked video suggests Disney's turn to politics was driven by Bob Iger's opposition to a J6. It says, we should be taking a stand. I read that thing. Oh, thank God you're taking a stand on the side of the J6ers who are actually speaking truth to power and peacefully assemble constitutionally protected activities. Oh, you didn't mean that at all, did you, Bob Iger? No. Disney is not your values anymore. They are lizard values. Disney values are literally to sterilize children, which is weird for a company that used to be family friendly, but now that means family friendly sacrificing children to Moloch. And before I get into the lizard stuff, the real issue is that one of the lower level puppet masters, Iger, got triggered not by years of violent BLM, arson, terrorism, and murder, because BLM and Antifa are mostly controlled by these globalists. They're the terrorist arm of globalism, where Disney is the propaganda arm and stuff like Fink is the finance arm. But years of arson and literal murder by BLM didn't bother Iger because that is not a threat to the Bolshevik systems of power. But J6 was a threat to their power. One day of mostly Euro-Americans, and that's important. I got to be careful on YouTube. Having a peaceful protest. People who were actually speaking truth to power. But that threatened the let's get this in here. That threatened the Bolsheviks like Iger for some reason, because Pox are not a threat to the Bolsheviks' position as puppet masters because they're mostly tools. But for some wacky reason, the people of the light getting organized, the people who look like you, even as chaotic as it was, and as glowy as it was, infiltrated with feds who were planting things and doing all kinds of really, really just obviously glow stuff. That scared the hell. It's like, gee, those people were never arrested, but they're on camera. They were FBI, weren't they? Plot twist. Half of that group was FBI. They had like 100 FBI agents instigating people. So they did stuff like they took down the barriers so people who were peacefully, legally, constitutionally protected assembled. They didn't know where the barriers were. So the Glow Boys would take the barriers down and just push the crowd to where they weren't supposed to be. That's your government. Oh, it doesn't seem like a government. I'll say there's not going to be a conventional political solution to this. So that scared the hell out of them one day. And the years of BLM Antifa, that didn't bother them at all because that wasn't a threat to them. But J6 was a threat to them. That's why they put this group of peaceful, unarmed people in prison for 20 years. And the BLM people who literally committed arson and murder the arson stuff, several of those arson people didn't get any time whatsoever. Zero. And the people who deleted people got a few years. Like, people think, normies in the back of their mind, they think M1 or M2 or, deleting people, they think, oh, you're going to get life in prison. For an obvious case on camera, like where it's premeditated, you're lucky if somebody gets 13 years. And that's literally how bad the sentencing guidelines are right now, which is done on purpose because what do? They subvert and corrupt nations, and you see that when you have Soros appointed DAs. And isn't that some kind of conspiracy theory? No, the campaign financing is public record. It's literally a Soros umbrella company who's funding these DAs. It's like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. I'll just avoid that topic. So the black guy who was the leader, what's his name, Enrico Terrario or something. He's kind of like Black Cuban or something. He's in prison for 22 years, allegedly for conspiracy to have an unarmed peaceful protest that was going to take over the government. Like a couple thousand unarmed people. That's not how revolutions... Well, we're just going to put him in prison anyway. It's like, well, that's a banana republic. Yeah, that's where we are. This is all actually happening. I don't think you're going to vote. We'll just vote harder next time. But that's how we got here. What are you saying? So, the black Nazi is in prison as a lesson to the white Americans never to advocate for themselves again, even as civic nationalists, which is what Trump supporters are. They tell you kind of what you need to do by what scares them. They're providing the guidelines for you. So Disney decided to throw this is all, I guess, too much for you too, which is, damn it. Disney decided to throw their hat in the political ring years ago, and that happened before the Florida bill with DeSantis and Disney were having a go because Disney wants to sexualize children. Like literally, that's what Disney is doing. Pushing BLT propaganda and blackwashing original European characters is political. It's from the toxic branch of the globalist, anti-white, anti-family, anti-Christian left wing. They're clearly telling you what they think of you. They hate you, and they hate the original stories. It's okay to look at what Disney values and say that, oh, yeah, these are not our values. Most people do not support BLT elements in storytelling, and they definitely don't want their kids to see them because we believe the family concept is Bob Duro, man and a woman and a little baby. And then the extended tribal family. It's not a BLT concept. That's a Frankfurt School concept they use to subvert nations. We disagree with them, and you have to get very comfortable saying that, oh yeah, those are not our values, and they're gonna ad hominem you and call you all kind of straw man istophobes and go, okay, you've attached those labels. Now let's move on to the underlying argument, and they can't do it, or they don't want to do it. That's why they deflect with ad hominems. They'll call you all these kind of globalist labels that they created in the past 100 years. It's honestly what they're doing is what globalism is. It's like it makes Scientology levels of manipulation look like amateurs. The communist dialectic predicts it. It's honestly, you really do have to study communism, and it's has how it over the years has morphed into something even more sinister, but oddly enough more incompetent. Globalism, because even if you went and talked to the communists 100 years ago and interviewed them, they would be called nationalist, racist, sexist, istophobes by the globalist kids today, because that's how far the window has shifted into just absolute absurdity is what they've taken Bolshevism into. Anyway, the thing is, it's time to just get honest about all this. Sodomy is not our belief system, or sexualizing kids. Those are the new Disney family values of kids and same-sex and sodomy. And they had an animation, I think it was called Elements or Elemental or something. It's like, this is where you could pause the video and look it up. You're right, but these videos are done in one take. Yeah, we know, we can tell. It was in an alien setting, but the main couple was, of course, mixed tribe, and they were two boys in a sodomy-based relationship. We don't want to see that. Those are not our family values. It's okay if it's yours. I mean, it just means you're brainwashed by satanic globalist elite media. And if there's a hell, you have an express ticket, because those are degenerate values for kitty diddling coomers who, yikes, my guy, just give me the next big thing, and I want a popcorn and scram. I just need to coom. The soy open mouth. Yikes, my guy, touch grass, coming from the 300-pound Disney coomer enjoyer who buys like bathwater and schoolgirl panties online. The other point he made was about how diverse the Wakanda movie was. Black Panther, really mediocre movie, but it's like, he got such high scores. Yeah, because if a reviewer gave it a low score, he'd just be fired and blacklisted. So it got perfect scores. It was a mediocre movie. That's not diversity is not when a movie is all one group of people. And in this case, the weird thing with the Black Panther was it was mostly Black American actors, and they all look different because they're all from different tribes originally in Africa, and they're from different admixtures all around the world. They're not like, they didn't look like a tribe, but the American audience didn't care. They just wanted a big CGI explosions on screen, or in this case cool fight scenes and that kind of stuff. It's like, if you actually used an actual tribe in Africa, they would look more similar, because that's what it means to be a tribe. So it's like, it's globalist subversive propaganda within globalist subversive propaganda. So the Black Panther was not a diverse movie. Where were the Chinese? Where were the French, the Irish, Japanese, the Russian? You get the idea. It was not mostly just Black American actors who were playing the characters. It's like calling a Viking movie diverse if it had only Scandinavians in it, which of course you will not get a Viking movie like that today, because to the left, literally they have a Viking TV show where they're, or actually Vegan did send me a DVD of some old Viking movie. The Viking movie today has got a black woman who's like the head of the Vikings. It's really hard to make these videos on YouTube. So the thing is, to the left wing, diversity just means black. It doesn't mean Chinese or French or Irish or Russian or anything other, or even Latin, or it's just specifically black, which is weird. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Can this go on YouTube or not? Shit, I don't know. Moloch, lizard, globalist, Frankfurt. I said a lot of hot words. I don't know, flip a coin on it. Anyway, join us over at SubScribeStar. Thanks to the Odyssey and SubScribeStar new members. Y'all are doing the Lord's work, and I'll see you guys next episode.